All right, welcome to the Work in Progress Movie Podcast. This is episode 19.
Hey, y'all.
What's up?
And tonight I got back Gary and Brian. And today we're going to be doing The Town.
Next, the city.
That sounds weird. when I say it like that. So anyway,
Part 2.
Then the state. Soon the country.
It's 2010. Directed by Ben Affleck. And pretty much what this movie's about, it's a bunch of Boston bank robbers.
It's about guys that are wicked smart.
They are surprisingly
Smart.
They're very smart.
Wicked smart. Love apples.
So Garrett, so pretty much like the best way to explain this is, Garrett, how did you explain it earlier before I recorded?
Well, that was only one part, but yeah, it's like the serious, unfunny, violent Logan Lucky.
There we go.
Yeah.
I still liked it, so I wanted you to say it again. So pretty much what this is about, it's Boston. There's just
Boston.
It's just known for at least Charleston?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlestown.
Yeah, so it's known for all of its bank robbers, or they're all very big into criminals. I know that's not mine, by the way.
They're a tight-knit group, though. They like...
Not me.
Brian, is there The Office playing in the background of you?
Oh.
I just wanted to know, because I lowered mine down. That's why I didn't know. I mean, it's not that bad. You're fine. It was just funny because
sponsored by Office Ladies Podcast.
Hey, y'all should check out that podcast, by the way. That's a really good one. So no, yeah, it's just about it's just bank robbers in Boston, pretty much. So going into this movie, I didn't know that Ben Affleck directed this one.
Me too. I'm on board with you. When I found out too, I was like amazed. I was like, really? Holy shit.
Yeah, so like it just threw me off. But it was, I mean, it felt like, once I found out that it was him, like it felt like a Ben Affleck movie, the way he does his directing, his character development and everything in the movie is really good. So pretty much like a little texting popped up at the beginning just to kind of give you a heads up as to how this world is, at least with this area. It just says one blue collar Boston neighborhood has produced more bank robbers and armored car thieves than anywhere in the world. And then it says bank robbery became like a trade in Charlestown, passed down from father to son. And then that was like a quote apparently from an actual federal agent. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's actually true or not. But one of the quotes that did throw me off was the one that said, "I'm proud to be from Charlestown. It ruined my life, literally, but I'm proud." And I was just like, all right.
He's proud of it, though.
He's proud that he probably did something wrong. So yeah, this movie just opens up pretty much right off the bat with the heist.
Kicks it off with a bang.
It gave me a little bit of Baby Driver vibes, but without the music.
Yeah,
he just immediately
definitely.
They're just immediately just going in the heist. I did like it because one, like their timing of it was very specific. Because I think it like went in on a clock or something in there. It was like 8:12 a.m. was very like it just like
they had to wait till 8:15.
Yeah, they had to be inside. They're like right at the vault at 8:15 because because it says it's like, oh, it's Friday morning at 8:12 a.m. And these guys they bust in once the driver gets in. I think it's Ben Affleck's character Doug was pretty much saying the run out of everything. Like the people that were the drivers, he knew exactly who they were and what they did and how their lifestyle was, which is why he chose them specifically.
Yeah,
details down to the T.
Mm-hmm. So they bust in once they have the driver right at the door, and they immediately get everyone down. They decide to go with is it assistant manager? Like not the manager, but the assistant manager. They decide to go for.
Yeah,
I guess because she wouldn't be more as experienced as the manager would be to these. So they use her, and then they ask her a question to see if she would end up lying to them, which was about the bank, this lock on the bank vault, right? It's like something like that. They're asking like, when is that gonna go off? And she's like 9 o'clock. She's like, don't be lying to me. It's 8:15. And I'm curious as to like how they knew that.
the time frames of where when they could access the vault, right?
Yeah. So it's like they're following the drivers, and they're like knew like as soon as they got there, the bank had the vault pretty much had to be open at that moment. So
when they're making the drop, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do like what he did with his character, because clearly they wanted to show like when someone has a gun on them, like they're gonna be very stressed out. They're gonna be freaking out, which is it shows her messing up with the code, and so he grabs her hand. He's like, calm down, don't rush this. And then,
I thought that was like crazy when he did that. I was like, he really like just told her like chill, and then put it right back on there.
Yeah, like he placed her hand on there. She didn't have to do it. Like he's just like it's just to help with the nerves.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's like she opens the vault. They go and get the money. What I really liked was when they were searching through the money, like he was actually searching through the money to see about the tracers and what is the like the ink things that like explode.
Yeah.
So that I thought that was a very cool. So it just shows like how smart these guys really were. Like they're not just running in there grabbing any bills that they see. They're actually checking them to see if they can be traced or not.
I really like this scene too, because when you look through the security cam, it's silent. There is no noise going on at all. And they do that throughout the film too. There's various points where there's just total silence, but the action is still moving in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool because, especially starting the movie with like one of the most chaotic scenes, like it's a comparison of like chaotic versus serene chaos. So it's really silent. You're kind of on the edge, wondering what's going to happen next, and there's no noise going on. I would think it'd be cool too if he even added like a heartbeat or something. But I like that throughout the film. He messes with sound. Like there's just various silent points throughout the movie that I really liked.
Yeah, so like with the sound and everything, because it did like a clear little visual of the security camera, because then it showed them taking out the footage as well.
Yeah.
And then they just put it in the microwave and toasted it.
Yeah, that's another thing I liked. There's some tactics in here and some strategies that I've never seen in any other heist movie. Like, I've never seen anyone else really take care of the security footage, put it in the microwave. Like, it's so simple, but it's cool. They're bleaching all the computers and they're bleaching everything. Like they do things that even like Ocean's movies don't even do when it comes to heist movies.
Yeah,
this is true. Yeah.
They're even smarter than like the predecessors before them.
Yeah,
definitely. They take it to another point. Like they have everything down to a key. And when we're talking about specifics, they're even like that. Like how you said with the bleach and the microwave, like everything. Like it's like they have everything down, like steps.
Yeah, and then you see it even further in their second heist where they're like bleaching each bullet one by one and then putting it in their guns before they go on a heist. Like it's really methodical, and yeah, I thought it was cool. Like I've never seen another heist movie that does it so specifically. And these are like blue collar workers in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that whole heist, like just everything, it was just like that whole scene was just great, because you're just seeing like everything, how thought out it was and how well these guys planned everything out and how they take care of it. Like the whole bleaching and everything was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's not absolutely horrible though. So yeah,
they smelled it through the mask.
Pretty much is honestly what's part is going on. I do this one scene right here, like it's just kept building up with like what I liked, which was pretty cool. While they're getting the money, I think it's Doug that's standing outside looking out. Like looking like to keep an eye on everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And then the girl who's laying down uses her foot to hit the silent alarm, which he is looking at her. Like I don't know if he saw her hit the alarm, but he looked at her like she did something, and he immediately
it looks suspicious. Yeah.
Like
he kind of like
he looks at her and then he looks around. He's like, "All right, we got to go." Like he just it's just in his head. Like he knows that something like they're coming.
Yeah.
So I really did like that scene. Plus, it shows that he's not like a bad guy, because probably if anybody else saw that, especially Jeremy Renner's character, probably would have killed him.
I would say though, it's kind of messed up, because if that is Ben Affleck looking at her, and he knows Jeremy Renner's character, who we come to see is just crazy and willing to do whatever. He knows that Jeremy Renner is going to look for someone else who pushed the button, which he does, and he starts beating the other guy on the floor, probably almost to death. but he lets it happen.
Yeah.
So although Ben Affleck is like kind of sympathetic in this movie and has like an actual love interest, I don't know if I would say like he's the best. He's the best of the group, I guess, because I really don't think he has killed anyone or really wants to kill anyone. But he knowingly he knew she hit the button.
Yeah.
And he still like let Jeremy Renner like beat that guy to death.
Yeah, because he probably just don't want to see her get beat.
And probably because he's scared of Jeremy Renner.
No, yeah, that guy's scary. That's like
and also like he owes him his life, like he says later on. Like his family took him in.
Yeah.
Everyone owes someone else something.
Which is why they always have each other's back throughout this movie. So yeah, like that whole little silent alarm part was good. Because just that moment of silence with the character, he's just like, all right, it's time to go.
Yeah, it was just a stare down that was intense, but you could tell, like, without words. I mean, obviously, you could tell, like, okay, she did something. He obviously noticed, so he's like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing, but at the same time, I'm gonna say, let's go.
Yeah, that's just a moment for anybody in there to be scared.
I know it doesn't add to anything, but I really liked that she had no shoes and she just did it with her toes too. To me, like, it just kind of adds to her character. Like, she's a soft character who just. I mean, she has PTSD essentially afterward.
Oh, yeah.
But she's like a soft character who just wants a rebound and someone to love, and just like a normal life again. But I really like that she had no socks on, no shoes, and hits it with her foot.
All right, so in other words, Gary has a foot fetish. But anyway.
Yep, that's exactly what it means.
Let me find out. You got a Quentin Tarantino fetish.
No, I do like his movies, but I don't share his similar interests in feet.
That was kind of funny. There's a whole conversation that he had with me. We go into that later. It's pretty funny. So no, yeah. So after Jeremy Renner's crazy character goes and beats up that guy, like I like how after he's like pretty much done with the job, like they all run out and it's still like on the guy that was just beaten, and you just see like the blood coming out of the skull, which is pretty gruesome.
Pretty much comatose.
Rock on, bro.
Yep. And then they just and because the cops are showing up, like starting to show up from the front or wherever they're showing up from, they decide to take her. I don't know if we know her name just yet, but her name is Claire. And they pretty much take her like to kidnap her. Once they're all inside the van, they're all driving. Even what I thought was interesting was the people in the front were like, as they were driving, they still had the mask on, but then they eventually take it off. But you still have, of course, Ben Affleck's character still kind of giving her like a reassurance, like nobody's gonna harm you, like you're okay, as she's like blindfolded and tied up.
Really gonna rape you a little bit.
Shut up. No,
he's gotta be the nicest bank robber. Jesus Christ!
In that scene when he says nobody's gonna harm you, Jeremy Renner's character looks back as if like, yeah, we are. Like it's just like like you saw that, right? Like
what the hell you're talking about? Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting when he did that, but so we get to see them pretty much. They drive her out to
the ocean.
Yeah, it's like close to the ocean or something.
Beach.
But they let her out and they just say, keep walking until you feel the ocean on your toes or whatever. Or
I like that.
The toes again.
Yeah, on the toes. I like that.
Maybe
I like that. I don't know. It's a weird little specific part, but walk until you feel the water. Yeah.
Yep. So pretty much they drive off. She starts walking towards the water. Once she feels the water, she takes off the blindfold.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts off and we get the title card. The town.
The town.
So I did want to ask you, Gary, were you excited to see John Hamm in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw John Hamm, I was like, yo, Gary's gonna like this.
Yeah, when I was looking this movie up before I even watched it, I was like, oh, like John Hamm's in it, and he's like he's one of the little squares in the trailer, like in the
it says like the main cast, right?
He's a little square in the poster, and I was like, oh man, he's like a main in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was excited for that, and of course he didn't fail me. John Hamm being a good actor.
His performance is good.
Yeah,
dude, I thought he did a great job.
His performance reminds me a little bit of his in Baby Driver, where he's both intimidating and charming at the same time, which is, I mean, John Hamm's awesome. He's the sexy god.
But
he's a great actor.
He did that in Mad Men too, so he's a great actor.
That
charm. He's a charmer.
Yeah.
Okay, I think both of y'all have a crush on John Hamm, but
John Hamm's
you know
awesome.
what? He's badass. Yeah, he should get more roles like that. I think he pulls it off damn good.
No, he's a great actor. From what I've seen from him, which is probably only 3 movies. He's a great actor.
Watch Mad Men, you'll be amazed.
That's why I say, like, when they kind of were in the talks about him with Batman, I was like, Jesus Christ, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not Batman, but Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right,
for sure.
All right, so his character's name is Special Agent Adam Frawley, I think is how you say that last name. And then he's got a partner named Dino Chiampa, which was Titus Welliver, which doesn't really have. I don't really know him from anything big. I usually see him as a villain every now and then.
I don't think they ever said it. Did they ever say his partner's name? I don't
know.
Yeah,
it's Dino. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's because I take notes, Gary.
I mean, he's always next to John Hamm. Why would I care about anyone else next to John Hamm?
I mean, yeah.
See, that's true. If you put him next to John, it's a little hard. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was just like, that's why they use this.
Shadow's too big.
Yeah. Well, one, he's like probably like 2 feet taller than this guy too. So
his chin is too chiseled. I don't care.
So yeah, like him and his partner arrive on the scene. They're pretty much talking about what these guys did to cover the tracks. They talk about the bleach. So I like how like even John Hamm like comes in like covering his nose because he like I said, it probably smells really bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, they couldn't catch anything because they didn't know anything about these guys. The people, well, originally they took away their phones. They also put water. They threw it in water, right? The phones.
Yeah. And they're like, give me all your blackberries.
Yeah,
like,
the fact
everybody
they said
has a blackberry in there.
They said blackberries is pretty funny.
Specifically blackberries. Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure razors were also big at that time too, weren't they? But everyone has a BlackBerry.
Dude, a 40-year-old white person is not going to be using a razor phone.
You never know, dude. But you're probably right.
At that time, probably not.
I was like, I think my mom had a razor, and she'd be considered white. But all right, so yeah, they just talk about everything that went down, about the truck that was not called in because more likely their alibis already paid for, something like that.
Yeah,
which they're not wrong. Because they just know exactly how these guys how it works in this city, like how everyone always has each other's back and stuff like that. They're not gonna tell robbers.
And see, you just said it too, right there too. Like they have a plan for the plan. Like they plan 3 steps ahead. I mean, when they plan, they're talking about what's after the heist and plus more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all walk around with shamrocks.
Like the most
on their
organized.
So they have luck on their side.
For real.
No, but yeah, like there's a line that he says where he's like, their alibis have been paid off for like a week already. Like,
yeah,
like he just knows exactly how it is.
It's like, wow.
So yeah, after that, it pretty much shows the characters that did make the heist, like finding ways to clean the money. How they talk about how they go gambling or they go out and just different stuff. They're celebrating with a beer. I think that's when they show the ID, right, of Claire's ID.
Yeah.
Yes, they took it.
Yeah, so they show Claire's ID because they want to know if she knows anything since they were the one since they originally took her with them.
And they realize that she lives like 3 blocks from them.
Yeah, she lives very close. So pretty much it's Jeremy Renner's character, which I think is James.
Yeah, James Kaufman.
Yeah, so James Kaufman, who we find out has a sister that was Doug's ex. That's not his child, right?
He says that is not his child.
That was confusing for me. Yeah, I was wondering whose kid is this?
He says it's not his child.
He says that she's been
into the fight with Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
Yeah, he says she's been with a lot of guys. So I mean, she's usually always on something.
She's on oxys, dude. She's on oxys, cocaine, and alcohol.
So what was interesting was that Blake Lively, I think Ben Affleck originally told her like to spend time with the townsfolk, to go look at the bars, see how people act in the bars and stuff like that. So her character is like based on all that stuff.
You gotta catch the rabbit to get the tail. My mom told me that.
Dude, that line was kind of funny. But here we go. All right, so we meet Claire. We kind of learn a little bit of their history. She has a kid, but it's supposedly not his. She doesn't really have much besides the first scene with him and then the scene with John Hamm, right?
I mean, much as in screen time?
As in, like, importance to...
Not really.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she gives John Hamm the information he needs.
Oh, well, important. Yeah, up till there.
Okay, we'll get to that part.
She's good at matching sizes, you know what I mean?
Anyways.
6 inches.
So, I forgot to mention about the tattoo, where they actually get a glimpse at the tattoo, or at least Claire does.
The Fighting Irish tattoo.
Yeah, so that becomes a big part because of the fact that Ben Affleck's character decides to pretty much follow Claire around. I don't know how she didn't notice.
But did you see how slick Ben Affleck was when he put his hand over it and he was like,
yes,
all right,
I was
going to
get to that. I was going to get to that.
Dude, so slick.
I actually put that in here. Like, my notes literally says Ben Affleck being slick. So pretty much, like, he meets her. I don't know if he had any intention. It didn't seem like it to actually talk to her because I don't know how many people just go in there and read a newspaper when they go to the laundromat.
Yeah, that was the weird thing. He walks in, gets a coffee, and has no laundry.
Yeah, he just like reads the paper like right there at the laundromat.
Yeah.
What also was weird, like, is the guy that works there. I feel like he'd be like, "Why is he here?"
Yeah, I thought he was gonna say something too, because he was in the background of the shot. I thought he was like, "Hey,
he's like
what's
suspicious."
Up?
He's like, like, why is he just looking? And he's constantly looking at her, like he knows he's following somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know, but so he just sees her. He goes, sits down, and just drinks his coffee, reads the paper. I'm trying not to do an accent. And she eventually asks him if he has money, and he says he can't help her. So it's just like, okay, he's gonna be a little cold-hearted to her. But then he sees her starting to cry. Because
I know it was a little bit of a dick at first.
Yeah, and then he I guess she saw it was blood, right? That was on her shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was her manager's blood or whoever that coworker was.
Yeah. So she sees the blood on there, and then she starts kind of like breaking down a little bit, and then he becomes sentimental and asks her like, "What's wrong?" But I mean, literally, he's just trying to. Sorry, my dog is crying. He's just trying to figure out what she knows. So from there, do they go and hang out, go get a coffee or something?
Yes.
Because I do not remember this part. I don't remember how we even got there.
I don't know, because I thought before they even go on the date where they meet Jeremy Renner, they're in the garden, the community garden.
Yeah, like they're talking. They're like walking around talking.
Yeah.
Because she works at she like plants at that garden, right?
She volunteers pretty much everywhere around Boston.
Yeah. So let's see.
I just want to say before this scene, when John Hamm is talking about how they're cleaning the money, there's a scene where Jeremy Renner is in the strip club and he's sitting there really unhappy. And this huge ass fills up the right side of the screen, and it is so funny because you should watch the scene again because the ass just like comes closer and closer to his face. It looks like a huge like James and the Giant Peach, and then the scene moves on to the next stripper. It's just like it's a really good scene. It's really funny.
Oh my god!
It's
I
great.
gotta go back and check that out.
It's great. It's just a floating ass coming closer to his face.
Does it change that frown?
No, it doesn't. He frowns the whole time.
Ah, man.
Maybe he's frowning because that person's ass just keeps coming closer. He's just like, can someone get this away from me? Let's see. Okay, so it goes to a scene with Frawley and Dino. They raid a crack house.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, we passed this on accident, but it's just like these scenes are just very small and very quick. But they raid the crack house. Pretty much what it is in regards to is for him to admit that he knows the professionals that disabled the alarm.
Yeah.
So we don't know anything else at that moment. It's just like, okay, they found professionals that disabled the alarm for this, and then it cuts to Doug. Again.
And then even before that, I think they slightly introduce you to the florist where they dump their money.
Yeah, I don't know what was his name?
I don't know.
That
I'm not
Who's
sure.
that?
The Irishman.
I'm trying to pull up his name. Fergie?
Fergie?
Yeah, Crime Boss Fergie.
Fergie-licious?
Yeah, totally.
Are you talking about the guy who owns the the flower shop?
Yeah.
The guy who knew his father, who is like
Oh,
the
yeah.
boss.
Yeah, I guess he's like in charge. He's the one that's like sets up the hire.
It seems like he's in charge of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they give him the money to hide. He runs everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shot caller.
Yeah.
So he's probably the one that just clears everything up.
Will clip your nuts.
Yeah. That was an interesting line that he said there.
I'll clip your nuts. Conor McGregor, I hit you with one punch.
A second.
Yeah, he was real into it.
A little too much. There we go. Okay, sorry, I was fixing something on the stream. So pretty much with that, we go into the date. And like after that whole scene is the date with Doug and Claire, where they talk a little bit more about what he does. Because I think he was a hockey star or something like that. He said.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be like a hockey star and stuff like that.
He was a or he got drafted.
Oh yeah, he got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't make the cut. Well, he did make the cut apparently, but he was just always starting fights and stuff. He was fighting the wrong people. He was fighting his own teammates.
Yeah, that was something that they said. So with all that, you just learn about them. You learn their history. Their
tight upbringing.
Yeah, I don't think he says anything about his dad being in prison just yet, right?
No.
Okay. So they're having a conversation, and then we learn what she does, which is the flowers and all that stuff.
She does the flowers.
She does the flowers. She goes and plants it.
What do you do for a living? The flowers.
Flowers.
Sometimes the bushes and the grasses.
Well, clearly she's a assistant manager at a bank. So
yeah.
So we
know and she volunteers.
Part. Yeah. So it's just to show that she's a nice girl. Is she from there?
No, because she's called a toonie. She's not from Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a yokel.
A toonie.
Here we go.
She's an outsider.
Alrighty. So right here, it's they just get to learn about each other. Then that eventually leads to her running into. This is where they run into James, right?
Is that Jeremy Renner?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. At the little dinner, the little lunch.
Yes. So what I found very interesting about the scene was like one, it shows Ben Affleck all happy having these conversations with her. She goes inside to go get something, or maybe the restroom or something, and then Jeremy Renner's character comes out, and then Ben Affleck kind of gets a little uneasy. Like he's like, "Oh shit! Like no, you can't be here." Stuff like that. And then you can I like the way they did this was the fact that like she pops out of the door, and then all of a sudden the sound kind of like just disappears, and it's just like I think it's the first time you actually see his character like not know what to do. Like he
was all freaked out. He was like, yeah, we gotta let's go.
Yeah, because it's just like they call him the architect with these jobs, and then all of a sudden he just doesn't know what to do all of a sudden. And then I do like how Jeremy Renner's character just played along. Like he sees her, he knows who she is, and he just acts like nothing. He's like, "Oh, my name's Jem," or something stuff like that. And he's like having a conversation with them, like just like asking her all these questions, because like about where she worked, and he's like, "Oh wait, that place got robbed, right?" And like he's just like, "No shit, you robbed it." But and then of course the awesome part was when he's getting up and the tattoo. Like Ben Affleck being very aware of where that like what she saw, he covers that tattoo with his hand as he's like pretending to give him a hug or something as he's leaving.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, come here, man. Oh yeah, let me show you the way."
Yeah, so that was pretty awesme because it was very quick.
Yeah,
because she did admit that she saw the tattoo. She just never, she's never told the police.
And she also
so she did see it.
So she no,
she saw it.
What we're talking about is like she saw it in the bank.
Oh, okay,
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, she saw it in the bank, but she didn't tell the FBI, and so that's why that's what he knew to cover that tattoo.
Yeah, he was like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she shares what I think is an important detail about her brother and Sunny Days. How on Sunny Days she always imagines people dying, which comes back in the very end of the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sunny Days was a kind of a big deal for a little conversation in the end. Trying to look at something. Okay, so sorry, I'm just looking at this stuff. Okay, so he pretty much tells him that Claire, like he tells Jeremy Renner's character that Claire doesn't need to be killed. Like she doesn't know anything. Like he's like trying to protect her because he's starting to have these feelings for this character. That's when they talk about the boss. Oh, he's in the hospital. So they talk about how her boss or the manager is in the hospital and how she said that she feels bad that she hasn't seen him since he got beat up.
With the PTSD.
Yeah, like she's like it starts cutting in and like it shows that she's dealing with like PTSD from what just happened. She's very traumatized from the events. Gary's reenacting it right
now. Oh my god. But well, I mean, even though she went through all that, she still kind of in a sense stays collected.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, but and it's so funny though too, because you would think she would kind of like recognize Ben Affleck's voice.
Yeah,
I felt like she kind of knew it was him, but kind of let it slide away.
She said that she recognized the voice, like she would recognize the voices, right?
Yeah, when their first encounter, I thought she would. It seemed like she picked it up, so that's why she was having like the PTSD kind of flashback.
Yeah,
like a Vietnam flashback. And,
yeah.
And she was freaking out, and she was like, "I'm so sorry." Freaking out.
And she has a flashback too when they have sex in her apartment, but it's like the actual like touching of the foot in the ocean. Like it's a nice ending.
Oh yeah, that flashback was nice. I guess for her it was like it was a big question mark walking like that. Like if someone tells you to walk until it's you kind of see that as like, okay, I'm gonna like walk for a little bit and then I'm probably gonna get shot.
Yeah,
it's the post-orgasm nice dream.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think this is maybe the first time he slips up where he says when he like takes her back to her apartment or whatever, and then he talks about her having a Prius and
oh yeah,
and he's just like, oh, I just took a guess. Like she's like, how'd you know I had a Prius?
Honestly, there are multiple times in this movie where it's like, how is it not obvious that he's a weird guy? Where he's like, oh, like after she quits her job, like, oh, no one called you about anything?
Yeah.
No one said anything? Like he has so many weird moments where he's obviously paranoid.
Yeah, trying to get some intel.
Yeah. He didn't see any of the guys, or how many were there?
They didn't ask you why you decided just to up and quit?
Yeah.
After we just got robbed?
Yeah, so that leads to her telling about how these guys like kind of like hustled her, or they like vandalized her car or something like that.
Yep.
Which leads to him. Well, I guess he knew who it was. I don't really know how he knew. But that leads to him going to James, which is like one of my favorite lines, where it's just like, hey, like I can't tell you who or why we're doing this, but we're gonna beat up some guys tonight, and I just need your help. Or like it's just something like that.
And you can't ask me about it later.
Yeah, you can't ask me about it later. We can't. Like, we're not gonna talk about it. And then like he's just like, it just goes to James, and he's just like, whose car are we taking?
That was hands down, like, I don't know, like the best. I mean, it's got some pretty cool action scenes. Yeah, but the best like lines, like just that key scene right there was just, oh my god.
Yeah, because like he just
through the silence. Yeah, through the silence. That's all he says. It's just which car we're taking.
Yeah. So they go, they beat up those guys, pretty much tell them like, hey, like I did find it interesting. I mean, I guess it's just to add on to like how crazy Jeremy Renner's character is. Where after they're beating these guys up and he like takes off his mask, he's like, "Why is this guy mad at you, huh? Why did we come over here?"
They're curious, but at the same time, though, that shows how tight they are, how close knit that group is, because they don't really say it for the other characters, but they came up too together.
Yeah,
it's just that him and Jeremy Renner's character were so close, like brothers. He even says it, like, "What did you do to my brother?"
Yeah,
like you ticked him off. You did something.
Yeah, like he just.
I just realized how they knew them, because Ben Affleck's character played hockey with them.
Yeah.
He shoots his kneecaps and he says like, "Goodbye to your career." Like, there goes your career.
Oh shit! Okay.
So they must have been hockey players that he knew.
Okay. Okay, I have the line right here. It says, "I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people." So that's what he said. So I thought that was awesome. So yeah, like they. Okay, so that's how we knew who they were. And then that pretty much leads to the next job, right? Like the next job is right after that. This one is the mask, the nuns, right? The nun mask or whatever.
Yeah,
the nun mask.
The second mask.
Yeah. So we get to see them all driving in this van with nun masks on. I did find it interesting that the kid, like, it's like a slow motion, like,
yeah,
he just like the kid's like looking at him because he's got a gun, nun mask, and he's got a gun holding it up. I don't know how, like, maybe he should have gotten some tinted windows or something.
I feel like that kid kind of like pissed his pants in that very second.
He looked scared. He looked like he didn't look confused.
Terrified.
He looked scared.
And I like how in the background when they're driving, there's like a church bell that rings while they're driving past them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And this one was a little bit sloppy. This was
a little. It's in broad daylight.
So I don't know who said no. Okay, now I know what happened. Okay, so before this heist, Ben Affleck's character straight out said, "I do not like the looks of these guards." Like,
yeah,
he scoped everything out. He said, I'm not comfortable with this one. They try
sizing them up.
Yeah, he's trying to warn them, like, this could go wrong. Like, I'm just not comfortable with this one. They force him to do it anyways.
Yeah.
And then it leads to them. It's just two guards they're trying to keep an eye on. One that I guess they already knocked out or whatever on the ground. The other one was in the driver's seat, and they're like, "Hey, you better not move," blah blah blah. And then as he's pulling the money out, one of the drivers has a gun on his guy. That leads to them shooting him, and they have to get the hell out of there. But at the same time, the cops are all around. So it leads into a minivan chase.
Which has got to be the hands down the best minivan chase I've seen ever in my life.
Dude, they're drifting the hell out of it.
You see those narrow ass streets of Boston?
Yeah.
Have you seen The Pacifier?
It's been a long time, Gary. I haven't seen it in so long. But I mean, the way he's taking those turns and those corners, I'm like,
that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, like the whole chase scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like they're just being chased, and then they get to the next car or whatever.
Yeah, the switch
of the car, and then they have like the flame. They burn up the car to get rid of any traces of them.
That switch was so clean.
I love how they make the switch, and then they're still wearing the same mask and holding up their guns. It's like, dude, wouldn't you put everything down and try to blend in? I guess at that point it's too late.
No, because remember they're trying to close the bridge.
Well, they are trying to close the bridge, but I mean, besides those two cops in the alleyway, I don't know who else saw the switch. Like, how do they know what vehicle they're in?
Yeah, I mean, they could have called it in.
I guess.
And there
was no helicopters.
Yeah, they were hauling ass. It was just like one of those things where it's just like, all right, made the switch. Now you're making it even more obvious.
Yeah, they're over here swerving through traffic.
They're just trying to get over to the bridge. So yeah, like we get to see that. What I did like was that it was John Hamm's character that said to close it.
You like the tenor of his voice?
Yeah, totally. He's like, close the damn bridge. And then Dino's just standing like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So yeah, because Dino's the one getting yelled at to close the bridge. So that leads to them after that heist. It leads to them getting called in because they're aware, like it's kind of obvious at this point who that's doing this.
Wait, you didn't even talk about how when they get to the other side of the bridge and they're getting out, they get out in their costumes with their guns and they face to face with the one cop in his car.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I forgot.
Oh my god.
So I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
dude,
that scene was great. The cop just stares at him and that's it.
He's like, all right.
What? It's because when they got down and they were doing their own thing, they weren't even paying attention. They didn't have no clue until they were popping the trunk, getting the stuff out, and then they turned their head and there was a cop staring at them straight in the face, like, oh shit, what do I do?
And the cop just let them leave, right?
He just turns away. He's like, you know what? I didn't see nothing. Go right ahead.
He would probably get murdered.
Yeah. Oh, he would have got shot up for sure.
Just carry on.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, I didn't see nothing. Huh?
Yeah.
He's like, I caught amnesia.
It's like the penguins from Madagascar. You didn't see anything.
Anything.
So that leads to John Hamm's character being like, all right, it's these guys. Like, let's call them in. Let's bring them all in. So you see them all getting arrested. They're taking their pictures. They're, I'm assuming they're getting fingerprints and all that stuff. They're just doing the usual, but they don't have anything to hold them on because their alibis are paid for.
And that pisses them off. That John Hamm is going off the walls. He's like, what? Yeah. God damn it.
Like, he's pissed. So I did like the part where how Ben Affleck is pretty much antagonizing them. Like when he's walking out, he's like, if you wanted to take a picture of me, could have just called or whatever. Like, it's just something like that. Yeah, because they take him off. They take him from work or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they take it when they're having the barbecue.
Oh no, yeah,
he knows. He's like, you need a better vehicle. Everybody in Boston knows what an FBI vehicle looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, but I was talking about when they booked him.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like when they booked him, he was at work, or whatever. But yeah, they did take the pictures when they're at that barbecue. Here we go.
Yeah, one of my favorite John Hamm lines, right after this, he says, "We'll never get 24-hour surveillance unless one of these guys switches to Islam."
Yeah.
Unless one of them's Taliban or a terrorist, we're never getting surveillance on them.
Yeah,
unless he's ISIS, no, we're not getting anything.
Unless he's brown, we got nothing.
So yeah, after that, they pretty much have nothing. They have to let him go. I think this leads to the conversation that John Hamm has with Claire. No, not Claire. Sorry. What is her face? Krista?
You're talking about? No, her name is Claire.
No, because I'm talking about the Coughlin sister.
Oh,
Krista.
oh.
I think her name is Krista.
I think you're right.
So that conversation, I'm not too familiar with that conversation. I don't know if I just missed some of it. But if one of y'all want to explain what that conversation dealt with, I know it was the weight of money or the size of money or something like that.
In the bar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he basically is telling her he's first flirting with her because he's John Hamm, and who's not going to flirt with John Hamm? And he's talking about how he knows exactly how much $20 bill weighs, how long it is, and then he says, "Isn't it amazing? One $20 bill can get you this much Oxy." And then he starts talking about OxyContin, and he knows about her drug dealing and her relationship. And he's showing off his badge. He's like, "Look, it'll be bad news for everybody in this bar if I start showing this off." And that's when he starts talking to her about everything.
Yeah, I like how he did that. So slick. It's like Don pulling a move, so slick. He's like, "Yeah, let me flirt with you for a minute, but at the same time, I know you're doing Oxy."
So yeah, I assumed, because I don't think it ever says outright, but I just assumed later in scenes that the guy running the florist shop is also dealing everyone drugs and thus selling everyone drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supplying the whole neighborhood.
I'm sure she is a dealer and a user, because he even mentions getting Doug's character, Doug's mom, on drugs and leading to her suicide.
Yeah, he got her hooked. See, when that scene dropped, that was a whole change of things. It gave you an understanding of Well, basically what happens, but at the same time, you feel bad for Ben Affleck's character because the whole time he's over here looking for his mom.
Yeah.
Who he thinks is still alive, but turns out she was a junkie. She, ended up dying.
Yeah.
But I thought that was crazy. That was like a turn for me. I was like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so like we get that whole conversation with them. Before that, so I did have a question in regards to Dino, because this is where his character actually becomes important, apparently, or not important, but it goes back to it. When Doug is arrested and having a conversation with Frawley and Dino, he recognized Dino. He said, "Hey, how's it going, Dino?" But was that in regards to his father, or was that something else that he might have done before?
I thought it was in regards to his father.
Okay, I thought
because he mentioned a group of people raising him, and then he turned his back on all of them. So I assume it's with his father. I mean, he inherited the business essentially, so
yeah,
he turned on his father and everyone else.
And they got the spotlight on them because of their father.
Yeah,
well, his father, I should say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Because of all the heist that he did with that his father did. So it's just like, all right, well, the apple don't fall far.
Do you remember what rule his father had? Like, they mentioned it for just a minute or two when he goes to see his father in jail. Oh no, not in jail. John Hamm is going over the spreadsheet of all the guys, and they mention his father, and they mentioned that his father created a rule for busting trucks where if you get caught in the truck, like you're dying with the security guard, or someone has to stay in the vehicle. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? He basically says like you're going down with the security guard. He mentioned some sort of rule that you had when you're busting trucks.
It's when they're going over the pictures, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
They go over all the spreadsheets and then they go to a file on his father, and they mention that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Jeez, I can't remember.
It's like a no snitch rule, but it's even further. Like you die with the enemy if you get caught. That you're done.
Yeah, like the code they live by. Like this code, you gotta stay.
They only slightly mention it, and I couldn't remember.
Let me see.
I know it's totally different, but it's kind of like how the captain would go down with his ship.
Yeah. And the musicians.
Let's new rules saying that an armored car driver is not allowed to leave the cab even if his partner is being held at gunpoint.
An armored car driver can't leave the cab
if his partner is being held at gunpoint. So that guy, the reason why they were caught off guard was when that guy left the driver's seat.
Because he broke the rule.
Yeah, he broke the rule.
Gotcha.
So that's what that rule is regards to.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that conversation, and I was just like, oh, so that's why they were caught off guard by that. Because they never expected him to leave it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, after that conversation, I did notice, I don't know if I want to bring it up now or later. Maybe I'll bring it up later. This leads to them going and talking about the next job. Because it wasn't that far in between. It was like shortly after that they decided to do another job. And
Doug, it was a short amount of time.
Said that he didn't want to be a part of it because he wanted to leave. He wanted to just quit. And he wanted, Zaya, stop. He wanted,
Claire.
He wanted Claire to go with him.
Go Florida.
Yeah, because this is where she finds out that he was the bank robber.
Yeah.
Because of John Hamm bringing in, or he pretty much gave her the news. He showed her the pictures.
Because John Hamm showed up, took off his shirt, and was like, "Hey, you gotta tell me everything."
I don't think that's how that worked. I'm pretty sure he showed her some pictures. So he shows her pictures in regards to the people that they arrested, in regards to who may have robbed, but that's because she knew that they were getting close to each other. Now with that, she has a long conversation with him where he's just like, I'm trying to tell you the truth, and then she starts asking the questions, like if he was following her and stuff like that, and he's just being honest. And I don't know what leads to her forgiving him.
Well,
because she's mad at him. Like, clearly he lied to her, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I forgive you. Arms wide open.
Even after all the PTSD and everything else.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't do you think she was arms wide open forgiving?
I'm being sarcastic, but she was definitely not. She was definitely not like, don't ever talk to me again at the end of this. She said that originally. She did say that, but it didn't leave on that.
I just think it's because she he was the first positive thing in her life after the experience. So, and they like, I mean, I would argue that they like fell in love. So I mean, and then you're hit with the news, and it's like, what do you do after that? You have like no one and nothing.
Yeah, because she clearly had strong feelings for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just like that's the part where I was just like, what led to her not? So I'm pouring myself some more drinks.
Yeah.
But no. So after that, he goes to. This is where they have a conversation with Fergie. Fergie-licious. And it's what pretty much forces him to take the job. I think he like threatened the girl or something like that.
Yeah, he pulled that card on him. He's like, if you don't do it, I mean, I know about your new little girlfriend. I wouldn't mind paying a visit to.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck told him exactly where he lived, which he didn't know before.
I know, he gave it. Oh my god! When I heard that, I was like, Jesus, you just gave it up, you gave it away.
Yeah. And that's when he's like, you think you can run away from me? I got your father by his nuts. I'm going to take your nuts too, and I'm going to hang them on a wall. I'm going to slap them every morning.
And clip them.
And I'm going to say, these are my nuts. And in Christmas time, I'm going to roast them like chestnuts over my fireplace.
Where did this character come
Basically.
So, he goes to go see his father, I think, and it pretty much like whatever conversation he has, for like he's like decides like, all right, I'm gonna do this job. I think even his father said like people can't change or something like that, right? Because Ben Affleck believes that
he sees his father like way before that.
Well, it's just like the conversation. It's in regards with like change, because he talks about his dad, how he never changed because he's still beating up on people that are trying to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then his father is like, because I think he like wants to believe that people can change, but he sees his father still being that, and he like there's probably like that doubt in his mind where he's just like, maybe I can't change or whatever. But it seems like that's his entire goal, is just to get out of there.
Do you believe his father died
in the prison?
Yeah. Because the FBI guys say that they got him, they sliced him up in his back, and that he died.
When was this?
In the interrogation scene when they first pull him in. They mentioned that like 2 people got him in the courtyard up his back.
I feel like it would have showed like a funeral or something.
There's nothing.
I feel like I missed that, but that is like something that grabs my attention, though. I mean, you would want to know too, as well. I mean,
like they don't show it.
Don't show anything.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I want you to go ask him.
All right.
Call to see if they're still prisoners with that name in there.
Send me to Boston.
Or you could just call. I don't think I need to send you anywhere. I'll just message Ben Affleck and ask him.
Oh, okay.
Send him an email.
No, dude, I just sent a message on Twitter. He'll respond.
Ask him if he likes them apples, and then send him a bag of apples.
Anyways, so he agrees to do the
job. I love that part.
I'm pretty sure he threatens Fergie if they do anything to the girl that he'll go after him or whatever.
Or else.
Or I'll kick you out of the Black Eyed Peas.
So this leads to the third heist, the rule of 3. Gary.
Rule of 3? Always happens.
This one I thought I liked a little bit more. This one was like them coming in as police officers. As soon as they walk in, they cover their face so we know we will be able to see them. They take down the first set of guards that are there, and then they get inside and
fart.
No.
Everywhere.
They pretty much tell the people, like the security people, like, hey, like this is y'all, like this is where you live, this is your family, blah blah blah, like to both of them, and force them to open the door that way.
Oh, you mean after they tie down the 6 people that don't believe they're cops?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Because they're like, who called this alert in? We didn't call any alert in, and they're just slowly realizing that they are not police.
Yeah. So with that, it leads to them stealing all that money, and they get out slick and smooth.
They get out slick and smooth. Did we watch the same movie?
Careful. I'm not done yet. So the part, am I missing something between from when they get those guys? You know, they tie them down even though they didn't believe them. They got them down real quick because I mean they pointed the guns, they all go down. They get the guys from the security room. They easily let them in because the fact that they're like telling them like, hey, we know exactly where you live. And then
I think they're both their wives' names are both Linda or something.
Yeah, their wives are both Linda. And
the two Lindas tell us to open the door.
The two Lindas are asking you guys to open the door.
And see, that's another thing too. Is like I hate to backtrack, but how we were talking about how they have everything planned.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did they know where the hell they live, what their wives' names were, and all those details? It's crazy.
Yeah, they just know exactly like who they are and stuff like that.
And basically has them by the balls, so they're forced to open that door.
Yeah. So that leads to like they get the money and then they leave. Is there anything that happens in between that?
I don't think so.
Exactly. So that's why I said they go in and out quick and slow. Quick and easy.
Like Rick.
Yeah. And then that leads to them putting in the money. Like they're all like, okay, everything's going very well, blah, blah, blah. They start changing their clothes. Ben Affleck looks around, and I guess he notices that there's like nobody there or whatever. Like it's just quiet, and he just feels uneasy.
Something is fishy.
Yeah, he feels like something's wrong, and that's when he goes and checks, and then he sees all the cops and all the FBI. Like everyone's there waiting for them.
It looked like a half a 9/11.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was
like
crazy.
How many people they had there. And then that's when Jeremy Renner notices, like, hey, I think I see something. And then he immediately starts shooting at them.
They were already peeking at them. They had them in sights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that was, right? That was like a scope or something like that? That was like
I think it was like a mirror.
I thought it was a scope.
He was like...
A scope?
I thought it was like a scope, like they were like scoped in, and they're about to...
Oh, I thought it was a mirror that they were hiding underneath, like on the side of the car.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking of like, you know, like when we play Call of Duty, we see the sniper scopes, like we see the lighting of it. That's what I thought it was, honestly.
Yeah. Calling that airstrike, dog.
Airstrike inside of a garage?
Hell yeah.
It gets everybody but them. So that like it just leads to a shootout inside that area. All the guys, Ben Affleck, the two henchmen, they're all shooting at the I guess those are the SWAT team.
Yeah.
And then that leads to the flash grenade or what was it that where you told them like to cover your ears? Was that a flash grenade?
No, a stun grenade.
Oh, stun grenade.
Well, because it messed with their sound, like it disoriented them.
Yeah, it disoriented because that's when one of the guys like stands up and gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that poor bastard! He got it right between the eyes.
Yeah, this immediately dead. This is where they split, right? Like the guy that drove, he just left, and the other two booked it.
So
he said, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what had happened was he basically tells them like, look, I can take a pinch. I got this. Basically giving them the time to escape. He was like the what do you call it? The distraction in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would stay in the ambulance like costume, and they would switch back to cops when they make their escape.
Okay. So yeah, they switch to the cops. He drives off. They gun him down.
It's like Hitman, dude. Just put your head down.
Well, that and it kind of goes back to what you were saying. Like it's like a code. Like he knew he was
done.
They kind of knew he was done, so he was like, "I got this."
Yeah. He's like, "You guys get out of here.
I'm taking it for the team this time."
Yeah. So that leads to that. He gets killed. He gets gunned down as he's leaving.
I'm bleeding lasagna over here.
And then you see Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner split.
Yeah.
Where did Ben Affleck hide the money? He didn't have a bag.
I thought they both had money.
I thought they did too. I thought they had two bags, but I only saw Jeremy Renner with a bag.
Because Ben or what's his name, Doug? Because he pulls out money from like an old bank, doesn't he?
So that's when he gets it from Fergie.
Oh, okay.
But I'm talking about like
I don't know what he did with his money.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, they had multiple bags, but I'm like,
I have no idea.
Where did his bag go?
He stashed it. Meanwhile, while I'm for sure he went back for it because obviously it pops back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, because he puts it away. And he runs away with it, but then it just disappears. It goes into like the next scene.
Yeah, like he pops out like all casual. He's just like, all right, I got nothing on me. I'm good. And then he sees his buddy being chased by John Hamm's character because he recognized him, or he didn't recognize him, he just knew. Because he's like, "Where are you going?" Because he's going the opposite direction.
Officer.
Hey. And he's carrying a big ass bag. I mean, it's gonna make it any more obvious.
Yeah.
And he's just walking off fast, like passing all the other police. And then that's when he's just like, "Hey, officer, can you stop for a moment?" And he just keeps walking.
Yep.
And then he's just like, "Coughlin, turn around." And then that's when he's just like, "Oh fuck."
I can't believe he didn't hit John Hamm once around that car.
I mean,
I thought he was. I was like, no.
See, there's that, but then I also look at the scene with Ben Affleck when he's shooting somebody right in front of him and he misses a whole bunch of times. But
oh yeah.
See, I thought that too. But
that's true.
It's a spray and pray gun, and he's holding it from his side. I don't think he's really aiming. He's just shooting.
I knew I shouldn't have drenched those bullets in bleach.
Yeah, I was probably going all crazy. So yeah,
should have taken more oxys.
It's a quick little gunfight right there. But that leads to I thought it was pretty sad where he's pretty much surrounded by all the cops. He takes a couple bullets as he's using the traffic to cover him, which was pretty interesting because he knew that they were just gonna keep driving apparently.
Takes a sip of soda.
Yeah, he takes a sip. Okay, well, he's using the cover. He's changing his magazines, and he finally gets shot. And then he goes behind the mailbox or whatever, and someone that ran away left some soda there, and he took a sip out of it because it was the last thing he was gonna drink.
It was the soda and the meal. If you look right next to him,
I saw the meal
was there still in the bag.
I saw the meal, but he didn't go for it. And it wasn't a sip, Gary, dude. He chugged the shit out of that.
That's true.
He finished that. And then he's just like, "All right, I'm coming out." And then he just comes out, tries to shoot, and immediately gets shot in the face twice.
Yeah, and keeps getting shot.
Oh yeah, after those first two shots, which he's obviously dead, they just keep shooting him, and I'm like, bro, he's hanging on the pole.
That looks hardcore, just right in the cheekbone.
Yeah.
He got two shots, one in the cheek and one up here or something like that. It was maybe it was right here and down here or something, but he was dead.
I was like, no, Hawkeye.
And it's it was kind of sad because you see Ben Affleck's character just he feels bad for him because that's his brother or whatever. And then that goes to Ben Affleck's character going on he goes to the Fergie's place. I do like what he did to the guard guy. He's just like, "Hey man, something went wrong. Look, come here."
Oh yeah,
and then he just shoots him right in the face. And then he comes out as Fergie's there, and he's like, I don't know what he says to Fergie. Do y'all know? Does he say anything?
He's something about I'm here to clip your nuts now. It's kind of something like that.
Yeah, he's talking about clipping his nuts or whatever.
Yeah.
And then. Okay, it says right here. Yeah. Remember who clipped your nuts for you? And then
here we go.
Yeah, because that's where he shoots him, and then he walks up to him.
Right, Gary.
Oh my God, Gary. We're on YouTube too, you know. So yeah, he shoots him. They're standing right in front of each other. I mean, I know he got shot because he has the bulletproof vest and everything.
Yeah.
But Fergie got shot. But the fact that it took that many shots to get him when he was right there in front of you, that's why I was like, that's probably why Jeremy Renner missed too. But he's also not used to killing people too. So apparently,
I don't think so.
And then that's when he walks up to him and shoots him in the nuts. And then this leads to him getting the money from Fergie's place. And then he tries to go to Claire's, but he's keeping an eye out from a building away. And then he sees that all the FBI agents are there. And
I like how he did that. He did like a Taken kind of deal. You know how he.
It reminded me of the Bourne movies, when he's doing that. He's always keeping an eye on them as he's on the phone with them.
He's good. Yeah, he's good like that.
I'm pretty sure that was probably Matt Damon this is a Matt Damon idea or something.
He's so this is how we got to do it.
His best bud there. So he's on the phone with her. I don't know how y'all take the scene. I don't know if y'all. For me, I didn't see it as she wants to betray him, but she kind of has no choice because she has FBI agents all over the place and her lawyer there.
Yeah.
But he sees it as full betrayal for a moment, when he's on the phone with her, until where she's like, wait, and then she says that line. What is it, Gary? Walking into the sun or facing the sun, whatever.
It will be just like one of my sunny days.
Yeah. And then he gets a little smile on his face, knowing that
See, I don't think it's a betrayal at all because of that line. I think she's warning him. She doesn't know that he's watching through the window, I think that line is code for "Don't come here because you will be the dead guy on the sunny day."
Yeah.
I think saying like, I mean, I think she definitely loves him in the end, and loves him on the phone, but is also letting him escape. So I don't think it's a betrayal. I think it's a warning not to come here.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So like, it was just like before that, like that. Before she said that is where it feels like maybe she was betraying him. Until, well, it's more of a. Well, like I saw it as a more she had no choice.
Yeah,
it was like it was an illusion. It was it was to satisfy the cops.
Yeah. And then that's when she did that line, and it's just like she clearly cares about him.
Yeah.
And then that's where he's like, what I do like about this scene is because like he leaves, and there's a scene in when they go into the when he's talking to John Hamm originally in the interrogation room, how John Hamm tells him what he needs to, like what John Hamm needs to do to make these charges stick on him, and then he says, and then you can go fuck yourself. That leads to the note on John Hamm's vehicle, where it says "Go fuck yourself," and I thought that was perfect.
And he just gives it to the guy walking by. Here, this for you.
Yeah.
That was like the ultimate F you. Like, you tried your hardest, buddy, but you still didn't get me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
I got off scotch-free.
So that led to pretty much it just shows what he does with some of the money. He leaves it for her because they even show the scene where he's leaving the little garden because he knows that she's gonna be there. So he like puts money in there, and then he does his little bus drive, and then a train ride, and like it's just showing how he's disappearing,
getting off the grid.
Yeah, he's going off the grid. What I thought was interesting was that Claire, after she finds the bag of money, she goes to like the skating rink.
Yeah.
And then she sees I don't know if that was a chair for Doug's mom.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. So like there was like a chair for Doug's mom, and then she was just looking at the kids, and then it cuts to him being like at a boathouse. He's like all bearded up and everything. And it says, "Oh, go ahead, Brian."
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that the money that she got, she used it for the skating ring, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know, because it shows her get the money, and then it shows that.
Yeah, because earlier in the movie, it was like shitty. It was like run down.
Yeah.
And then it looked like brand new, in that end scene. So
yeah, it's for the kids.
So I'm guessing she put it towards like, you know what? Let me put aside this, bring this back to life for the community and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's what they did, the anonymous donation or whatever.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. That was nice.
And then that's when it leads to Ben Affleck's character just looking off into the water, and he says, "I'll see you again on this side or the other." And then it just ends.
He's peaceful, right? He's just like at ease, at his own private getaway.
It's his first time he's gone from Boston.
And you can tell his comfort, his content. You can see that, because he talks about it, earlier in the movie about trying to get out of the game and wanting to switch up his life and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it was like a big relief for him. He was like, I cut ties with him, with the city.
Yeah. Yeah. So that pretty much just ends the movie right there. So I didn't know that y'all had some points y'all wanted to bring up if we haven't brought them up already. Where'd y'all want to go from there?
I did want to ask you guys a question. Was the fact that the little stories in between, like there's like, well, I call them little stories in between, but there's little things in between that I wish they would have gone more into, like Jeremy Renner's characters, the sister and the kid and stuff like that, because we only get little snips of it, so that leaves us in the dark. Like, what they play more of a role than we know. It's like the little pieces that they give us kind of show us like they're an important part, but they didn't really make the cut for the movie.
Yes, yeah, because like we get Jeremy Renner's character because that's like his best friend, but then we have Blake Lively's character who is honestly just there to be an annoyance. I don't know.
Well, I would say that the although they don't get a lot of time, the kid becomes like a key factor in Jeremy Renner not letting Ben Affleck go because he kicks his ass. I mean, they fight each other in the cemetery, and then that's when he mentions like, you can't run out because you have these people here. He's like, that's not my kid. But like, he's betraying not only Jeremy Renner but also his sister and his possible child.
Yeah.
So like, he's tied to the city, he's tied to the people, he's tied to everything. He can't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's got him trying to sever ties was his main relief. When, you know, at the end scene, you can really see that. Like, they kind of really show that. But yeah, that was my whole deal. Was like these little in between things that they really don't go more off of. I was curious about them.
And then it's like the only person he regrets leaving is not even from Boston.
Yeah.
Like, she's not even from there. She's a toonie.
Yeah.
Toonie.
I did want to ask, the orange that was there, was that like a hint to show that he was like when it was in Florida or something?
I think so.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
I'm pretty sure. I got you the citrus. I thought you were thirsty.
You gotta drink it. You gotta peel it first and then drink it. All right, what else? Was there anything else I need to bring up?
I would say that although this movie is pretty realistic, I mean, as far as like watching a movie and not being a gangster, as much as it is like realistic to watch, the last scene where it's the hyper realistic Logan Lucky where they're robbing like Fenway Park, that took me a little bit out of the movie, only because they're used to robbing regular banks and trucks, and then they just suddenly jump to an entire stadium operation.
I thought that was a little crazy.
It was a little out there. I thought like, whoa, this is only like 4 guys and they're going to rob an entire stadium. Yes, they have the plans from Fergie and they have all this information, but it's like a huge job compared to everything else they've done in the past.
Which is why I feel like it was a setup from Fergie.
A setup?
Oh, yeah. That's a good...
they knew. The cops knew and everything. They're all waiting for them. It's just like, it would only make sense because Fergie's the one that was practically forcing them to do this job. The one job that he's trying to force, the cops are all there, and he immediately goes to go kill him because he feels like it was a setup too.
But what's in it for him?
Getting rid of those guys.
Just to hire new guys?
Yeah, he can find other people. He feels like he owns the town, so he's just getting rid of people that are maybe causing a problem for him.
Because I thought the main reason they got caught was John Hamm runs into Jeremy Renner's sister, and she's basically saying like, hey, like, where did they go? What are you talking about? I thought that's why they got caught, and that's how John Hamm knew.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because in that scene, it obviously feels like the aura in the scene, it feels like she gives him up.
Because she gets that DWI, and he's like, I'm on my way. And he's like, look, you got to give me this information. This is like your moment to shine.
Yeah.
You get out of jail.
You got to protect yourself.
Yeah. I thought that was the main reason why they get caught. Because she probably said, like, the hotel room he was in, it's overlooking Fenway Stadium, and whatever else. Mm-hmm. And she's like, she got her heart broken. He's dating someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not interested in her anymore.
So that's why also I feel like they never show what led to this. Like, I mean, they show that conversation, but then it also feels like Fergie may have set him up. Because it's a job that's like out of nowhere. Like, it's not something they normally do. It was a job specifically from this guy. And that's the main reason why I feel like it was a setup. But, I mean, I don't know if there's anything that says in there exactly how they got caught, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be something else I'll message Ben Affleck about.
Another question.
Go for it.
I felt like too that there was always like Fergie always had something against him, and this goes back to his father. But even after his father was in jail and stuff like that, like that crime syndicate always had something on him, like it had some sort of string against them.
If Fergie wasn't always mad at them, his other partner for sure was. That dude was ready to kill them like at any moment. The guy just with the shotgun sitting down.
Yeah,
like
he was like Stone Cold Killer.
I don't understand. Like, yeah, I don't really know what his deal was. He just seemed to always like something was up his ass with that group.
Mhm.
Every time they came in to talk, he was just like, let me get my gun out real quick.
I did want to mention, so Ben Affleck was having a hard time figuring out who was going to play James Coughlin, because I think he originally wanted Mark Wahlberg, but Mark Wahlberg was filming The Fighter.
That would have been good.
And so his brother Casey Affleck, he was the one that suggested Jeremy Renner, because he had worked with him in the Assassination of Jesse James movie. So he suggested to Jeremy Renner, and that's where he decided to choose him. And then Jeremy Renner also surrounded himself with convicted robbers in Charlestown for his research. So his character was based off of stuff like that.
Yeah,
Jeremy Renner, he always plays kind of like a seedy bad guy. Like his character in SWAT, he's the evil villain in there too.
Yes, he played a good part in SWAT. He was the prick in that one.
Yeah.
Garber.
But it's like saying he's good with those parts, kind of like how John Hamm is playing an FBI agent. He gets those roles. He gets a agent or a cop role, and shit, he does it damn good.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was after his role in Hurt Locker either.
Jeremy Renner? Wasn't it the same year?
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know.
Oh no, this is after. Hurt Locker was in 2008.
Oh, okay.
For some reason I thought it was 2010. Here we go. Yeah, so it says right here that that Ben Affleck was he was using kind of The Departed and Mystic River and Heat as a little bit of a, I guess, I don't know, if, to help with his boss. I don't know. He said it was he cited these movies for this movie.
I'm glad he brought that up. Yeah, because I see that too from The Departed, because I love The Departed. So I see, how do I say, similar things from there.
Yeah. That needs to be a movie that we do, actually, Departed.
Yes, definitely.
That one's
all-star cast.
Down.
Would you say after, in all the heist movies and the universe of heist movies, would you put this, near the top? Or is this kind of just, a good movie that bleeds into everything else? Or, would you still put the Ocean's movies above this and still put other heist movies above it?
So I would put Baby Driver above it. That's a heist movie.
Is Baby Driver a heist movie?
Yeah.
I mean, there are. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess the POV of it is just him from the driving perspective, but besides that, it is a heist movie.
But can it be a heist movie when it's musical?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a classic heist movie. I don't know if I'd say Baby Driver is a heist movie.
I would put The Town though. Oceans is good, but the Town's
with Oceans. I feel like you don't. I don't personally. I have not seen all the Oceans movies. I've seen I think Ocean's 11.
What about The Italian Job?
The Italian Job.
Never seen it.
Oh, that one's. Oh,
Gary.
Movie. That one's a good.
That's a good one. Marky Mark.
Yeah. So that one I would. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't feel like I haven't seen that many heist movies. I say
you seen Taxi with Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon?
That's Taxi Driver, isn't it?
No, it's not Taxi Driver.
Oh, it's just Taxi?
It's just Taxi, yeah.
I think it's just Taxi.
I've seen that one.
Taxi Driver is Robert De Niro.
I've seen it, and it's absolutely horrible.
It's something to laugh at.
I'm glad Jimmy Fallon realized that he's not a good actor.
Fever Pitch, he sells me so hard.
Oh my god, shut up.
With Drew Barrymore, right?
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
So, I mean, I like The Town, honestly. After watching it, and now that I know that Ben Affleck liked it, which I feel a little biased now, it's a good one. Because Ben Affleck he is my favorite actor, number one.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm glad he Gary said that. Where would you put that at? I'm like, God damn it, I don't know.
Because I think it's a really good movie and a really good heist movie.
Yeah, it's a great heist movie, or it's a great movie. The characters and everything. It's just a guy that wants to get out, and you kind of feel that for him. He wants to do something.
Yeah, he's looking for something better. He's trying to get out. These ties are so damn strong. It's and it says before, the generations, you can tell, it's hard to get out of the hood.
Yeah,
The hood, yeah, their hood.
So,
oh, you know what else? To put it up with there as I just thought about it. Heist movie wise, Public Enemies.
Ooh, that one's
I never seen it.
John Dillinger, aka Johnny Depp.
Dude, that movie's so good. Now I think about it.
Really is too. That cast too. Wow.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, man, kills it. But even like the other criminals that they have in there, like
because they're like very known criminals that you just hear about when it was back in those days.
Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yep. So yeah, I thought. So yeah, all these like that movie specifically, or I mean like this one specifically. I really did enjoy it. I'm going into the part if I liked it or not. So this one I really did enjoy it. I remember, like I said, I think this is only my second time watching this, honestly. It's been so long since I watched it originally. Just everything that you just know that these guys are smart. The character development is good because like you have your one really hard ass guy that's just like he's very unpredictable. You don't know what he's gonna do. And then you have one very calculated guy who is the architect of this group. And the fact that he's like best friends or brothers with this unpredictable guy just shows like I feel like he has maybe a plan for everything at that point. And just the way it ended. And John Hamm's performance in that was ridiculously good too. So I really like this movie.
Yes. A1. But it was good though. Like I like how you put that. They're like yin and yang. You know, they complete each other in a sense. You know, he's a loose cannon and he's the one that's like OCD's got it together.
Yeah.
So what's your, if you had to choose like the worst thing about this movie?
The worst thing about this movie is Blake Lively's character. I'm just kidding.
Oh really?
I don't. So I look at everybody's character and I'm like, okay, this is good, this is good. And like really, I feel like they only had to have her there so she could rat them out. Because what? You get a sex scene with her. Okay, that's their history. You get the scene where she's mad because she wants to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not going to take you. I'm taking somebody else. And then she rats him out while talking about chasing the tail. And that's it. That is it. So I just wasn't a fan of her character. I don't know.
Yeah, it's how I was talking about it earlier. Is the fact that she's basically what I mean about those little side stories. She's like, I feel like there's key things that are left out with her. So basically, she's just like a little annoying character that you know that she's got some importance, but you don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah. What about y'all? Did y'all like the movie?
I love it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it, besides the little things that it lacked, I mean, overall good heist movie. I mean, I haven't really, after this, I mean, it hasn't really been a good one besides Den of Thieves, but.
Hello, Baby Driver.
Well, Baby Driver, I mean, I think Baby Driver came out before, no?
No, Baby Driver came out in like
2014 or something?
No.
No?
Okay.
Maybe 2016.
I don't know.
2017, yeah, I was right. 2017.
I'm sure there are I'm sure they make a heist movie a year, if not two.
No wonder John Hamm had that nice grizzly, not a full beard, but he's got that, it's coming in.
It's got the scruffles and everything.
That grizz chin.
It's like Gary's. Like it's like Gary's right now.
Yeah, he's got the John Hamm right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less clean, but
yeah.
Gary, what did you think about the movie?
Yeah, I thought the movie was really good. I thought all the performances were good. My boy John Hamm's in it. I thought the heists were cool. The action is cool. There's a lot of violence. I can't even say like I'm surprised that Ben Affleck directed this because I don't know. There's lots of actors that turn to directing and do really good jobs. Like I can't really judge them on that. Like if I had to choose a negative for this movie, I would say one, the scale of the last heist is just a little too big. to be believable. And also, I think it's a little too sentimental. I would say the music at some parts doesn't really make sense for me. Like, there's really sentimental music when he goes to visit his dad in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really weird tone. But then other times it's like the romance is a little too much for me, and I'm kind of over it at some points. But it's really small negatives. I think it's a good movie. Like, I'd want to watch Syriana because he directed it, even though I don't know anything about that movie. But it would make me want to watch another movie that Ben Affleck directed.
Argo.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, Argo. Haven't seen Argo either. But yeah, I thought it's a cool movie. It's a good heist movie. Yeah.
And I'm assuming the one thing that you probably didn't like was that last heist.
Were you even listening to me? That was my second point.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Like, I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, like the heist itself is cool. Like the action is cool. I like the shootout. I like everything about it. It's just the idea that they go from bank to truck to Fenway Stadium. It doesn't. I don't really buy it because the second heist, the nun heist, they like totally f that up. So to think that they're gonna rob a stadium, like, nah, dude.
Yeah. It's not like Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I mean, you know how hard it is to even get down to those lower levels?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So, but otherwise, I mean,
like a garbage chute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that I know that movie did give Jeremy Renner his Oscar nomination.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It was for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, he deserves it too. I liked it.
Yeah, his performance in that's crazy. From Hawk, like you see that, and then he goes to Hawkeye. It's just like,
oh man, yeah, big difference. Oh, well, then you see a little side of that though when he becomes later down the line when he loses his family.
What does he call himself? Ronin.
Mohawk.
Ronin.
Yeah. He gets his little mohawk. Yeah, I like that mohawk. That's pretty cool. But the dog.
Oh yeah.
Schnauzer.
Yep. Schnauzers are pretty obvious. So I did want to bring something up. I know this is off topic. Just a little side thing from like last episode. From the Home Alone episode, I didn't realize that the little boy that we were talking about, the one that drinks the soda all the time.
Oh, the one that went to bed.
Yeah, his little brother. That's actually his actual little brother, Kevin's, like the actor.
Macaulay Culkin's.
Yeah, that's his little brother.
No,
he's also from Scott Pilgrim.
He does look. Yeah, okay, it makes sense now. Wow.
Who is he in Scott Pilgrim?
The gay roommate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the Culkin's brother.
I watched that movie again like a week ago, and I love that movie.
Don't you see like the resemblance now? Now that you think about
it. Yes, it's right here. It's the eyes.
Yeah,
it's the eyes.
The only thing I think the only reason why I didn't recognize him in the first time was because his glasses.
Yeah,
because they're just like.
Yeah,
they cover everything. But that's just something I want to bring up from last episode because I totally forgot about that. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about before we close out? Any last questions?
I don't think so.
I don't know if there's anything that we missed, Brian, that you wanted to bring up.
No, I think we went over everything, man. I like I said, I loved it. Like, great heist movie. It's gotta be up there with the top 5, definitely.
You hear that little pot right here? It's Brian's headphone. It just sounds like you got some water boiling in the background, like the little teapot.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I think I hear it now.
Yeah, that's just that, but it's all good. So, with that being said, don't forget to go ahead and give a like, comment, subscribe. We are on YouTube. We do have the Spotify. We have Apple Podcasts. Follow the Instagram and Twitter, so that way you can go ahead and reach out to us. Let us know how we're doing. Also, to give us a take on maybe a movie that y'all want to see, maybe join us in. We could always bring in more people. Y'all have a good night.